Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday community conference. I am Rajiv from the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna, PC, immigration.com. We do these calls every Thursday, once on LinkedIn audio and once on our personal conference bridge. The conference call is subject to the disclaimers and conditions that you heard while you were logging in. With that, let me briefly touch upon how we'll be doing this call. I will first go over the questions that have already been posted in our forums, forums.immigration.com. First, I will go over within those postings, I'll go over the questions I have marked as frequently asked questions. Today, there is only one frequently asked question. So after that, each time I answer a question, I will invite follow-ups, if there are any, from the people who are listening. No new questions. Once I'm done with all these questions, around 1:30 Eastern Time, I will lock the conference. Not 1:30, sorry, 1 o'clock, half an hour from now. I'll lock the conference so that no new people can log in. And then I'll try to make sure I answer new questions from everyone who is logged in. Okay. Let me just confirm that you folks can hear me okay. 1 second.
The conference is now in presentation mode.
Can you all hear me all right, guys? Can you hear me? Say yes. Hello. Oops, sorry, my mistake. Can you guys hear me?
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Can you all hear? Okay. Yeah, I keep muting myself. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Excellent. Okay, let's go back.
The conference is now in presentation mode.
Yeah. So I'm reading about quantum mechanics and quantum phenomena, and I'm forgetting about how to click a switch. Typical. Okay, so let's go over the frequently asked questions first. And this one, actually, I get asked a lot. So everyone knows that EB1C category is the fastest, well, all EB1 categories, A, B, and C, are the fastest category for India-born people because the green card can take 1 to 2 years and you're done. The fastest I've gotten an EB1, excuse me, an EB1 green card approved is 3 months from start to finish with premium processing, which was amazing. So 1 to 2 years is normal. So the question is, EB1C is a category reserved for international managers and executives. So this member of our community says, can I apply for green card in EB1 category from H1B being a manager? Well, the answer is yes, but remember, EB1C requires that you worked for a branch or a sister company, affiliate of this company outside the US for 1 year as an executive or managerial employee or equivalent. Okay, so you have to be actually physically outside the US for 1 year. What I call in Hindi once ek saal ka banwas, you know. So that if you can do that, then definitely. And actually, there are companies who have opened offices in Canada or Mexico so that their senior team members can go and work there for 1 year and then come back on L1A. And we've done many, many cases like that. But you have to be outside the US. So here, just because you've been promoted to a manager doesn't mean anything. You actually have to be relocated outside the United States for 1 year. You can go to Canada, Mexico, India, Europe, anywhere you like. But it requires, this category requires that you have served for 1 year outside the United States. Now, if you are going to plan this, it's a great category. I highly encourage it. If you work for a multinational, it's the best thing you can do, even smaller companies. But make sure that your job description in the foreign country and your job description when you come back to the United States is properly reviewed by your lawyers. Okay? Because I insist, I will not let somebody go without reviewing their job description. I want to make sure that these jobs will work. They will be successful for an EB1C category, right? So that's the only thing. So you got to be outside USA for 1 year. This was a frequently asked question. Anybody has a follow-up on this, what I just discussed? Press *5. No new questions, only follow-ups. Okay, Let me, there is one from area code 857, which is Massachusetts. Okay, Massachusetts, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hi. So I'm right now in Canada, and my company is in US also. So can I come on an L1A visa, and then
That
can I be
depends.
eligible for the EB ones?
Yeah,
Or-
that depends. What kind, are you a managerial or executive level employee?
Yes, I'm a manager.
Yeah, so absolutely, that's a great way to go. You can check with your lawyers, the corporate lawyers, let them review your job descriptions. You will have two choices. As soon as your 1 year of service outside USA is over, you can get an L1A and come in and then apply for green card. Or if you like it in Canada and you like all the smoke there, you can say, okay, you know what, I'm going to hang out here, and they can do your green card while you are sitting in Canada. So you will go and interview in the consulate when the time comes, and you will land in the United States
Okay.
with a green card. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then the processing time is the same as inside USA?
Yeah, it's about the same. Yes, it'll take about a year,
Okay.
little bit maybe over a year. It's about the same time, and assuming that the priority dates don't slip back a lot. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
this
it.
is a great
Thank
option
you.
for multinationals. Yep. All right.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's everything.
Okay. Good luck, sir. All right. Moving on to the first. I guess this is the second posted question. So this is EAD eligibility. So they are talking about compelling circumstances EAD. I am on O1. My wife is on O3. Well, first of all, these are not current immigration laws. This law about compelling circumstances was passed back in 2017, 6 years ago. And when it first came out, if you go to my blog on immigration.com, you will see that in addition to the current entry, which I just did a few weeks back, and you can go back to 2016, you can see that I drew up a whole mind map on what compelling circumstances EAD is, and there is almost no difference between what the USCIS said in January 17, 2017 to now. It's the same thing. There is nothing new here. Okay. But remember one thing, compelling circumstances is given to that person whose I-140 is approved. You can't transpose the I-140s. You have the I-140 approved, but your wife has the necessity. So she can't take advantage of your I-140. Okay? That's not how it works. And I don't think compelling circumstances is available under premium processing. But I could be wrong. I have to double check this. They've been making so many cases premium processing. I doubt that it is premium processing. Under the old times, we've done a bunch of these in the last 6 years, all successful, but all based upon some very compelling circumstances. When they say compelling, it is compelling. I can give you many examples. But the bottom line is, your wife can't take advantage of your I-140. Okay? *5, if anybody has a follow-up question on this. *5, any follow-up on this? Okay, I'll go on to the next question. Oh, there is one from area code 469. Let's see, 469 is Texas, it looks like. Yes, Texas, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I had a question. So you said the wife will not get the EAD if the primary applicant has I-140.
Okay, no, hang on. Hang on. Let me rephrase that slightly. Let me make it more accurate. If you, whose I-140 is approved, applied for your compelling circumstances EAD, your wife can also get it. But you have the I-140 approved and your wife has the compelling circumstances, she can't take advantage of that.
Okay.
As far as I know, that's not how I read the regulations. Okay.
And does this new rule, whatever came in, it includes layoffs. Let's say I have mortgage and I have kids here.
This is a difficult,
Are we eligible for that?
difficult question to answer. Okay. When the laws first came out, they had the same formulation. Even during those times, the economy was really hiccuping. There were some issues and people were losing their jobs. I would say if you wanted to try to make a case under compelling circumstances because of a loss of job and inability to quickly find another job, and you have mortgage to pay, etc., I would add to it the fact that you have listed your home, you've tried to sell it, home market is tight, give some evidence that you've been looking for jobs, job market is tight. You might be able to make a case for it. But not just because a job is lost, you are entitled to compelling circumstances. No. Got to be something more than that, some more meat to that bone. Make sense?
Okay. And even if we get it, can we work on it, or we
Yeah.
need to
Or,
like?
of course, it's not for decoration, it's for use. So you get it for 1 year, and then you can keep extending it if the compelling circumstances continue to exist. That means you'll have to try to keep selling your home as well as, at least that's the way I look. This is not required by law. I could be completely wrong, and maybe they'll be so generous that they'll just give us a compelling circumstances EAD because there is a job loss. But I would not like to test that. I would not like to take that for granted. So you get it for 1 year, your wife gets it, and you keep extending it as long as the dates are not current and the compelling circumstances continue to exist. Okay?
Okay, so we can work. We don't need to go out and then get the
No.
again.
If
H1B.
no, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to convert back to H1B, you'll have to step out and come back again.
Okay. I mean, what is advisable, to convert back or remain on?
You know what I would do if you were my brother, my family? I would say, look, if you're not able to find a job in the 60-day grace period, apply for a B1, B2. At the same time, you want to take a chance with compelling circumstances, we can. And in case it is denied, you still have the B1, B2 pending, right? If you get a job, might still have to step outside USA to get a visa or come back on a visa. But at least you have a bit of an option not to have to leave right away if the EAD is denied. So something like that. Okay.
So if we apply for like B1, B2 along with it, we can stay here, and once it is approved, we have to again go out and get that stamped.
Yeah. So there are that's a very long discussion. I can just tell you this, that if there is a compelling circumstances EAD pending and you find a job, you will have to go outside USA. If there's a B1, B2 pending and or a compelling circumstances pending and you get an H1B job, you will have to go outside USA. Pending cases don't give you any status. They only give you legal permission to stay. Okay. That's how it works. Anything else?
So even if you, let's say you applied for B1, B2 and then you got a job, your visa got transferred. In that case also we need to go out of the country.
The only time you will not have to go abroad is, 1, if you apply within the 60-day grace period, and 2, if you apply after B1, B2 is approved, which is very unlikely because you ask for 6 months, they approve in 8 months. Okay, so the time that you asked for is already gone. I got to take my next call, okay? Good luck. I think I have a call from Massachusetts, it looked like 781. Go ahead, 781. Massachusetts, yeah.
Yeah, hi Rajiv ji. Thank you for your guidance.
Of course.
Follow-up question on that. So what if my employer, so I'm laid off, and what if my employer file H1 on 50 or 55th day of my grace period, right? Does that still work for the transfer process?
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, you just
And I
have
also
to.
have B1, B2 visa.
No. If your H1B extension or transfer request has reached the USCIS within 60 days, you can actually start working as soon as the paperwork is received and receipted by the USCIS. You don't have to. There's no issue. Then you don't have to apply for a B1, B2. Okay.
No, I mean, actually, they start on the last week of the process, right? And it takes like actual additional 1 week to reach my documentation to USCIS.
Yeah. Then you have to go
I
outside.
think,
You have to go outside.
yes. And can I get B1, B2 like a premium if I already have stamp of B1, B2 on my passport? Or
No,
that doesn't work?
there is no premium B1, B2. Okay. So just reconcile to the
Okay.
fact that you might have to step outside USA, get a visa stamp, and come back. Then you should be able to go to
And
Canada or Mexico or one of the neighboring countries.
and there are no consequences, no complexities, right? In like if to get approval from outside.
No complications. Why would there be a complication? You've not broken any law, nor have you been unlawfully present for 180 days. That's not, I don't see it as an issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And last question on B1, B2, if my B1, B2 application is pending,
Mm-hmm.
and I got an offer, still I need to,
Yeah.
Does my H1 transfer take place even though my B1, B2 is pending?
Sure, it does take place, but they won't give you an I-94. They'll say, go get a visa stamp. You can try. There is no harm in trying. I actually won a court case against the government in similar circumstances, but that's because they settled. They didn't want to fight. Legally, they can make you go outside US. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay. And the employer, do employer require e-verification if they file H1B?
No.
Do they have to be e-verified?
No. That's for STEM OPT. Okay.
Got it. Understood. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, New Jersey. Let's see if we can get to New Jersey. Is that New Jersey? 551? Yeah, go ahead. New Jersey.
Yeah, it's New Jersey. Hello,
Mhm.
Rajiv. Thank
Hello,
you very
sir.
much.
Of course.
I wanted to ask you, can students who are on F1 OPT, can they apply for a fresh B1, B2 visa in case like they want to switch to the B1, B2 to save up on unemployment days?
Okay, I'm not going to address that issue right now because I'm in the middle of the call. First, I'm going to go over all the posted questions. At the end of it, I will, in about 15 minutes, I'll lock the conference, and then I'll address all the remaining questions after I've done with the posted questions. Okay, so wait, please.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you.
Just wait. Okay, so let's see. What was the next question? So we dealt with that. Options for continuing to stay in the US with an expired H1B, PERM application, H1B Recapture, alternative visa paths. PERM was filed October 22nd. Okay. 6 years will be over 11th September 23. So about 20 days, something like that. Yeah. I work in Dallas, Texas. I think you should apply for a B1, B2. You can, of course, recapture if you spend time outside the United States. Even if you spent outside the US 10 days, you apply for 10-day extension just like a normal extension. And you can file it premium processing. And if you have enough time, 15, 20 days, that's all you really need to cover. Also remember that there is an extra 10-day grace period at the end of the H1B expiration. So you really don't need a whole lot of number of days. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and apply for an extension like a normal extension, and you can premium it if you want. *5. If you have a follow-up question on this, no new questions. Follow up on this, *5. Okay. Next question is H1B transfer, international travel, and advanced parole validity. Okay, guys, I think we have a lot of people already on the call. I'm going to close the conference. Give me 1 second, because otherwise I won't be able to work with everybody who's already here.
The conference is now locked.
Okay, good. So now I have locked the conference. I'll make sure that everybody who's here, their questions get answered. Okay, H1B transfer, international travel. All right, I have my 485 pending. I have EAD AP. AP is good till October. Currently working in company A on H1B, which is valid till July 30th. Company B will file for my H1B transfer around July 10th. I have a family emergency. Can my new employer file for H1 transfer while I'm in India? I don't think it can be done while you're outside the United States. No, I don't think so. Once H1 got approval, so you know what you'll have to do? Let me look at this. You have the EAD, you have the AP. So what I would do is, if I were you in this situation, I would apply for the H1B, but you'll have to go get a visa stamp to come back and start working for this employer. If you already have an H1B visa stamp, you can enter with that stamp and the new employer's approval. But you will not be able to file for a transfer while you're outside the United States. I mean, not for a transfer, the kind that can allow you to start working as soon as you enter the United States. You have to go get a visa stamp. Yeah, your 485 would not be abandoned. You have a valid AP. That's not a problem. And especially if you have your I-140 is approved and 485 has been pending 180 days, there is very little danger of anything major going wrong with your 485. I would, of course, want you to double check with your lawyers. Never know, I could be missing something. I have limited information here. Okay. *5 if you have a follow-up question. No new questions. Press *5 if you have a follow-up question on this, what I just talked about. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Zulfi says, immigration options for a Canadian citizen. Well, good thing is your country of birth is Pakistan. So you have more options than people born in India. Currently working in USA for a contracting company as a construction estimator last 3.5 years. I'm a daily commuter, and daily commuter can be a problem if you have a green card going. Although there are rulings from appeals offices within the USCIS that say that just because your I-140 is approved, you shouldn't be stopped. Okay. I am a little concerned about starting a green card on TN. I'm always concerned about that. So the options I see are either you move to the United States, wait until your green card 485 EAD is issued and advanced parole is issued. So that could take about a year. If you go through, and if all works out well, you go through the labor certification process, year, few months, something like that. Okay. But you'll have to, between the time your PERM is approved and I-140 is filed, which is only about let's say, about a 3-4 month period you will be in USA. You can't travel. So because remember, PERM is not immigrant visa, no problem. Once the I-140 is filed, I-140, 485 will be filed together. I misspoke. Let's make that as long as your advanced parole and EAD are not issued, you should stay in the US. That could take many, many months. It's taking a lot of time. So you just have to make peace with that. Okay. *5 if you have a follow-up question about this. *5. Okay. Another option you have, Mr. Ali, is if you want to convert to something like an E2 visa, treaty investor, a couple 100,000, a little bit over 100,000, between 100 and 200,000 investment. That's also a great visa to start your green card. Your employer can start your green card while you do E2. Again, that may not be possible, but that's an option. And third option, of course, is to convert to H1B, but then you have to go through the lottery, right? *5, if there is a follow-up question, press *5 on your phone, please. All right. I make sure that this call is being recorded. Yes. Okay. Nev says, I want to surrender my green card, derivative green card holders, consequences, IRS requirements. You do not want my opinion on tax issues, sir. I don't know anything about tax laws. I'm a US green card holder through family immigration since 2018. Children 22 and 20 received their individual green cards. Oh, okay, under your sponsorship as a derivative. Okay. You want to surrender your green card. My daughter is 20. Will she lose her green card if I surrender mine? No. If she continues to stay in the United States, but if she goes with you, then she would lose it. But I don't see how she would lose. No, she has no issues. You can surrender. Do have to file 8854 with IRS, sir? I don't know what that takes. Sorry. Is there any way I can personally go to the US consulate in India? Previously, they used to insist that you come personally. Then they started taking it by mail. Do you still have an option? You can call the consulate and see if you can personally go and file the 407. Will you get a multiple entry tourist visa simultaneously? I doubt that there's such a procedure, but doesn't hurt to ask. I think you have to mail it in. If I were to surrender at the port of entry in the US upon arrival, then would I be allowed to enter the country on a short-term tourist visa? You have to have the visa in your passport, right? Otherwise, how would you enter? And I have to look up the procedures. If you wanted to surrender at the airport, would they let you even in? I don't see how. So I don't know the answer off the top of my head. I'll have it researched. But I do know that your daughter would not lose her green card. I'm pretty sure about that. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Next posted question is, temporary relocation from the US on H1B visa, re-entering the US I-140 process and validity of existing visa. Got my H1B approved in Feb 2022, valid till 25. F1 to H1B change of status. Got visa approved. Currently working in the US, same employer. Planning to relocate for 1 to 2 years due to family reasons. My employer will revoke my H1B. Can I come back to the US? Yes. Without going through the lottery. Absolutely. Even if your I-140 process has not been started, because you are entitled to an H1B until 2028, 6 years, right? And you would have used only 1 to 2 years or 3 years. You have whatever time is remaining, you are entitled to that time. You can, without going through the lottery, come back on another H1B for that time. And even with a different employer with the same stamping. Yes. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, press star 5. Next question is options after I-140 rejection. Can I file I-130, 485 concurrent? Okay, I-140 rejected. Can I get married and apply for green card by submitting I-130 and 485 together? Yeah, if you're getting married to a US citizen. My 2 sons are in India. I believe that they have to be under the age of 18. There are 2 ages. I don't remember off the top of my head. One is 14, one is 18. I believe if they are legitimated and you get married before 18, or is it before 14, double check the ages. But at one point, when you get married, the children will get their green cards as your derivative. Actually, not your derivative, as your spouse's adopted, quote unquote, or stepchildren. So what you want to look at is, you want to look at the definition of a stepchild. Just Google uscis.gov stepchild or stepchild definition. That should bring you to the right page. Okay. Star 5. If you have a follow-up question on this, star 5. This is area code 281. Let's see. 281 is Texas. Texas, go ahead, please. I can hear you.
Hi, sir. So I actually did, rejection, after the rejection, I actually filed, 290B. There were some silly reasons for they rejected.
Acha.
Can that I-290B can be expedited?
There is no expedite for appeals or reconsiderations or reopening reconsideration. No expedite so far. Okay.
Okay. And you said I will be Googling the stepchild definition for my
Just
for the case.
just say USCIS.gov stepchild definition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And how long, if I get a favorable answer, do you know how long it takes for my children to come under the under my wife?
Yeah, I think it'll take about a year and a half from when you get started. I'm making a rough guess here. If the children qualify, because once the I-130 is approved, you will get your interview in the United States. Children's files will be forwarded to the National Visa Center, from where it will be routed to the consulate in India.
Okay.
So
it takes about an hour.
But here is one issue though. For marriage-based cases, they always interview. Okay, so if you are in a region where the interview times are 2 years, then the kids are going to take a lot longer. Add another 2 years. Okay. So, but if you're in a region where the local processing times are much shorter, then just add that time only to the estimated time.
Oh, so it is after my green card that I can file that, right?
No, what they do is, I'm trying to remember how it works. What they do is, once your I-130 is approved, you know what? I have to double check the process. But the bottom line is, I think that, of course, your kids cannot get their green cards until you get yours. But can they process the files after the I-130 approval? That's something I have to check. You know, another thing you can do, just do the legwork yourself. Call the USCIS customer service. Yeah, call the USCIS customer service and ask them that this is my question about the procedure. Will they wait? Will the USCIS wait for my green card to be approved, 485 to be approved, before the files of my children's files are forwarded to NVC? Or will you do it after 130 approval?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And sir, the last question is, I have a valid reason to go back to India. Like I said, I have the 290B processing. I already have the EAD.
Right.
And while the 290B is processing, and I also have an advanced parole, can I go back for a few weeks or no? It's not. It's as bad.
Well, no, because if your I-140 is in jeopardy, that 485 and all is probably not going to be very good for you. So I would be concerned about traveling. Normally what happens is, if you have an appeal filed, USCIS does not typically revoke your 485. But it will be very dangerous for you to travel, because you may not be able to come back. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are okay with traveling and then staying in India until your green card gets approved through marriage, then that's okay. Otherwise, I can't predict how long it will take.
Okay. And generally, how long does it take for the 290B to be processed?
I don't have that. You can look it up. It's online.
Okay. All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay. I think we just have a couple of questions more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions more. Okay. Wow, 6 questions. They had a lot of questions today. Okay, let me go back to 6 more questions still. Next question, which is marked as question number 10. H1B status, AOS pending, employment changes, legal presence, impact on AOS. My questions are regarding H1B status when AOS is pending. If I terminate employment with my H1B sponsoring company A and join B within the grace period, but without an approved H1B, what status am I with employer B? You have work authorization. if I joined company B on my AOS EAD, then it's different. Then you are joining with your EAD, and if your H1B is approved, it will have to be stamped before it is activated. But you can continue working with your AOS EAD. Next time when you travel, just go get H1B Visa stamp. When you come back, the EAD will recede into the background and you'll be back on H1B. Number 2, if I am on AOS legal presence due to expired H1B status, then get a new H1B change of employer. Do I need to go back to India? No, you can go to a third country. So if you go into EAD mode, then you change employers using and get an H1B approved. You can continue working even for a third employer on EAD. But if you want to convert back to H1B, you'll have to step outside USA. And it will not be abandoning your AOS just because you're entering on H1B visa. You're allowed to use an H1B visa to re-enter USA. That's absolutely valid. And you must hold an AP card, otherwise it's very dangerous. Just make sure you have an advance parole. Okay? Otherwise, don't travel outside the US. It could be very complicated. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Okay. Next questions, alternatives for fiancé's early arrival in the US, B2 or F1 visa. Currently on F1, getting married in December. Fiancé wants to pursue her master's starting fall. So that's before December, right? Or are you getting married this December? Are you on the phone? Press *5 if you are. Press *5 if you're on the phone. Okay. So I don't know what the timeline is. She wants to move to the US before then, apply for a B2, then change to F1. No, I never recommend that. Oh, you are here. Okay, area code 404. 404 is Georgia. Okay, Georgia, are you talking about getting married in December of 2023 or 2024?
23, sir. December 23.
Oh, so then she won't be a fiancé, then she'll be your wife. That's a different case altogether. She's not entitled to a K1 then.
Right.
Yeah, she's entitled to a K3. Now, will they let her come on a B2 or an F1? You can try, but all bets are off. You never know. I know plenty of people who got their B2 approval even after getting married to a US citizen and with the green card pending, but there's no guarantee that they'll give it to you. Okay. So
my question
so
was
hang
more
on.
about, like, if she comes on
Hang on, let me finish. There's one thing I want to point out to you. So if you guys are married when she applies for B2 or F1, there is no guarantee that she will get it. Also, if you plan to get married and you're trying to just get her here on a temporary visa in the meantime, that too could be a problem. They can say this is fraud. So be careful with this situation. Okay. The only visas that are exempt from this problem are H1B and L1 visa. Of course, there are some others too, but the two obvious ones. So what should you do? You should do this. You should go ahead and get married as planned, okay, in December. Then you apply for her green card as well as her K3 visa. She gets whichever comes first, maybe year plus. In the meantime, she can also apply for an F1 visa. Don't apply for a B2. If they give it to her, great. If they don't, they don't. Then she has to wait for her K3 or green card to come through.
Okay. But if I'm on F1 visa, can she apply for green card?
How can you apply for, I'm sorry, then I'm completely confused. My mistake. I thought you were a US citizen. If you are yourself on a student visa.
No, I'm on F1.
You're on F1. Oh, if you are yourself on a student visa, would she get an F2? I do not know. Nobody can predict the chances. But the fact that you got an F1, chances are good that she will get an F2. Okay. But if she wants her independent F1, I think even that is possible because you guys have not broken any laws, right? So, but is it predictable? Absolutely not. I can't predict what's going to happen with the case.
Okay.
Sorry, my mistake. I thought you were a US
Yeah.
boy. I don't know why. I had the K1, K3 fixed in my head. I'm glad you were here.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Okay. Now the next question is verifying H1B cap registration, confirming employer's application for F1 OPT. Okay, so this is, I'm on F1 OPT. My employer mentioned they would sponsor for H1B in 2024. Is there a way other than the employer letting me know they have applied for me to confirm the lottery registration? I don't think so. Because it's the employer's application. If they are doing it through a lawyer, you can call the lawyer. But I don't think you can independently verify. As far as I know, again, I confess that I don't get into the details of filing and all. Our team takes care of all those things. Okay. *5 if you have a follow-up question. I don't think you can. *5 if you have a follow-up question. Okay. Next question. This is employment after layoff, compelling circumstances EAD, H1B transfer, visa stamping, exploring B1, B2. Laid off by Amazon, last day is June 26th. I've approved I-140, own house, kids started kindergarten. If I file compelling circumstances EAD, can I work using that EAD? Sure. If I get my H1B transfer to another company, can I work as soon as it is approved? Yes. If you get it, only if you have filed within the 60-day grace period. If you started using your compelling EAD, compelling circumstances EAD, then you have to go outside USA, get a visa stamp to get back onto H1. If you already have a stamp on your passport, you should be able to, you don't have to get a new stamp. Get the H1B approved, step outside, come back showing the old stamp and the new approval. You don't have to go for a visa stamping. Is the EAD option same as changing to B1, B2 and searching for a job? Which one is better and recommended? Well, that's a tough call. I mean, you could do both if you wanted. B1, B2 and then, because there's no guarantee you'll get a compelling circumstances EAD. Also, it can take many months to get the compelling circumstances EAD decision. So I can't tell you which is better. They both have their pros and cons. Okay. *5 if you have a follow-up question. All right. Let's see. This is area code 469. Where is 469? Texas. Yeah, Texas. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hello, sir. So there's actually a change in my situation. So I got an offer from a company and they transferred my visa. It is approved.
Oh, good.
And I also have offer from another company which I am interested in joining more than this one. So my question was, so this offer which is approved, H1B is approved, starts in next 3 weeks. And the other offer which I just took, they will be applying for my visa in next 2 weeks. So I was thinking on a safe side, should I join this company and then leave this company after maybe a month and join the other company, or it will be having issues if I do that because the other transfer would be in pending state in that time frame. I'm just thinking, what should I do?
I'm not sure I understand that question. So you're saying this company, Company A, applied for your transfer within the 60-day grace period, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so while this is pending, you want to file another transfer, correct?
So this is already approved. So
if it is already approved,
approved,
yeah, so you can file another transfer, no problem. What is the issue?
so the other company is also filing the transfer, but my question was, I'm just trying to make myself safe in case there are any issues. I should have some backup. So that's why I was thinking to join this company A. And then after a month, this starts after like 3 weeks. So let's say on July 21st, let's say I join. And then
work for them.
leave them on
Work
August
for
21st.
work for them for a couple of pay stubs if you can, then apply for a transfer. Okay.
But the other company, the company B, they will be starting the transfer before I join this company.
That's okay. That doesn't matter. That has no bearing on your case. That does not increase your risk in any way.
So, I mean, normally they ask for like last 2 pay stubs, right? I was just thinking if that company B case is pending and my
Well,
pay stubs
hang on,
are from old employer.
hang on. Legally, you are entitled not to join for a few days, even after the approval. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's not an issue. You should talk with your H1B lawyers, discuss the situation. Certainly doable. I don't see any problem. Okay?
I don't have any lawyers
Well,
because right now I'm laid off, so I don't have any.
no, hang on. You have already an approved H1B. Okay. You have a second company
I haven't
filing
joined them, but
hang on.
yeah.
You have a second company that's filing an H1B. I hope they have a lawyer. You should talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
because there are several permutation combinations. I don't see any problems. It can be easily managed. The only question is which way to manage. That's all. Okay.
So you're saying that if I join this company and then leave it after a month and join that another company after their H1B is approved, it shouldn't be a problem.
Actually, I'm saying a lot more than that, but I don't have the time here for that. I am saying that and a lot more.
Okay.
You have other options also, easier options also. So talk with these lawyers, see what they want you to do. You know, if I can always comment about after having a detailed discussion with a lawyer. Come back because it's going to take 10-15 minutes. We don't have that much time to talk here. I can give you quick suggestions on what to do. I can't solve all your problems. I'm telling you that you don't have a problem. There are several ways to handle it. Just ask your lawyers how they want you to do it. All right?
Okay.
Good luck. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot here to discuss. Not an easy thing to do. Which one did we just do? Wasn't this the one? This was a different case. Oh yeah, already covered that. Okay. Next question is 14. Consequences of H1B audit and absence at LCA home address. Misrepresentation and misdemeanor. So there's an H1B audit. A person comes to my home office and can't find me there. Why is this a misinterpretation or misdemeanor? You mean misrepresentation? Well, you know, I am not home all the time. I go out, I go grocery shopping, I might go with friends. You know, it's just, that's crazy. I don't think that's a problem. But if you actually misrepresented something, then it's a problem. If you're not there for a time or two when they visit, what is the big deal? You could be out gallivanting, nothing wrong with that. It's still a free country. I don't see that as an issue by itself. Okay. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. All right. So this looks like the last posted question. Layoff on concurrent H1B visa. Does termination by employer nullify H1B with employer B? No, it does not. If the main employer lays me off, will my H1B concurrent visa with employer be void automatically? No, sir. It will not be. You are perfectly okay as far as I know. Have it double checked, but I don't see any problem at all. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this. Okay, this one is from area code 917. 917 is New York. New York, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. So if I get laid off from employer A, do I have to initiate the conversation with employer B that I'm laid off?
No.
By employer A?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you can double check this. You can even call USCIS customer support. I'm always careful with immigration law because there are so many minute details, and the devil is always in the details. Have it double checked. Even call USCIS customer service. My understanding, and I've had this done in the past, is both visas stand on their own. Both H1B approvals, I should say, stand on their own. If one goes away, the other one does not go with it. Okay?
So it kicks off as soon as I'm laid off, right? The other one kicks off and becomes active. I mean, it is already active.
Yeah. No, it's just that it stands on its own. It's not like it's not a dependency. In other words, it's not like in project management or software terms, it's not a dependency. These are individual objects. Okay.
Okay. So whenever anybody has concurrent H1Bs, there is no like we shouldn't go after other companies to find a job, like because you already have.
The only
right?
thing
Like,
is, only thing
if one
is,
goes the other
yeah,
way,
only thing is, let's say your concurrent H1B is approved for 20 hours, okay, and you want to work 40 hours, you'll have to file an amendment of that concurrent H1B that remains, okay. So you were working for X and Y. X was the first one, Y was the concurrent one. X goes away, Y is 20 hours. You want to work 40 hours for Y, just file an amendment.
Oh, okay, got it. And whatever you said is valid for the other way around as well?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Like I said,
P lays me off and
they both stand on their own. They're not, there's no
Got it.
inheritance in object-oriented terms. There's no inheritance. They're separate objects.
Oh, I thought since I got the H1 from employer A initially, like the very first time from the lottery, it is my quote-unquote main employer, right?
No, you were not in this year's lottery, right? You were in last year's lottery.
Oh, last to last. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I am not aware of any issue like what you are fearing. As far as I know, there is no issue. They are both independent objects.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, got it.
Good luck. Okay, anyone has any question, press *5, please. Anyone has any question, press *5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 5. Okay, 5 is not bad. 6. All right, 6 we can handle. All right, I think we are okay. We have 6 questions. 7 actually. 7 is okay too. Let me start in the order that you called in. The first person in that line is Florida. So Florida is 386. Let me find 386. 386, go ahead, please.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I am good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. A couple of questions. I'm sorry. So I'm a Canadian citizen. I just was on an F1 visa for school, but they terminated my SEVIs.
Mm-hmm.
I just got my LPN. For nursing.
Yeah, 1 second.
But
ma'am, are you Canadian born or are you Canadian citizen by naturalization?
Canadian born.
Okay, good, because then you have more options. Keep going.
Okay. So my work options, I've been trying to find someone to sponsor me, but no one's really wanting to sponsor me because I don't have a valid work visa or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm still trying to find a job, how long can I stay in the U.S. until I find somebody to sponsor me?
Okay. Take me back a step. SEVIS was terminated. You know what? I do not remember how much time you have to leave the US after SEVIS. Okay. 2 things I want you to look at. You can check with your DSO how much time you have. I do not believe you have 60-day grace period. Okay. I don't think so. You can double check with the DSO how much time you have. Normally, a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks is okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. But if you have your nursing license, you should certainly look into a TN visa option. There's a huge shortage of nurses in the United States. Even if you apply from Canada, you should be able to make it, both as TN and ultimately as a green card. Okay.
But if it's an LPN, not an RN.
Oh, it's not an RN yet. Okay. So LPN, I don't remember what the options are. I have to look it up. I have to look at my notes. I don't know if the TNs don't require a license, okay, from what I remember, as long as you can obtain a license. So, you know, I have to look at Schedule 2 of the USMCA. I don't know I can take a quick look. Hang on 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it is for RNs, not for LPNs.
Oh, okay, so it's the RN. Okay.
Yeah, all is for
Okay.
RNs. I'm just double checking. So
Okay.
the NAFTA professionals, USCIS says Canadian citizens. Where's the list? Dependent, spouse. Double check it. From what I can tell, they do require RN, not LPN. Okay, so work towards that, whatever that takes. But that would be an option. But I think you have a limited amount of time. I don't think you have a 60-day grace period.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Also, so if I leave, for example, if I leave, go back to Canada like next week, like July 5th, can I come back on July 6th as a visitor, like for those 6 months? Or
Why
will I have a
not?
problem
Why
coming back
not?
into the United States?
Why not? As long as you make
It
it.
should be okay?
Yeah. Just remember one thing. At the airport, answer their questions. Or if you are driving at the port, answer their questions truthfully. Okay. They say, why are you going? You're going for 6 months. So you were a student.
Okay.
So just answer their questions truthfully. Don't try to keep any information back. All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
And is there any, like for the form sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. For the form I-593, can I change my visa status to anything?
That depends how much time you have. If you are still within whatever time you're allowed to stay after the service termination, okay? So, hang on one second. Yeah, it's immediately depart. I don't see any grace period. So you can't do a transfer, no, from what I can see.
Okay.
Yeah, so everywhere I look, it just says that not when there's a service termination. Does not appear to be. You can double check with SEVIP, SCVP. They do respond to questions.
Yeah.
Okay, they're pretty good about responding to questions. You can double check, but I'm pretty sure you don't have any grace period. So leave as soon as you can.
So that's all. So if I, so next week will be my 60 days that I've been here. That's why I was trying to see if I leave between the 60 to 180 days.
No.
Me coming back.
They are going to give you a hard time even coming back on a tourist visa if you overstayed your previous stay. So this is a much tougher situation. So I would say stay away for a few months before you come back.
Okay, so like stay in Canada and then come back for a couple months.
Yeah, stay in Canada for a few months before you come back.
Okay.
Because you've just broken the law by staying more than, you're supposed to leave immediately. So they can deny a tourist visa on those bases. I mean, a tourist entry on those bases.
Okay.
So be careful with that, okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see who's next in the line. How come there's still 7 people? I guess people keep raising their hands. Okay, so this one is New Jersey, area code 551. Area code 551. Okay. 551, go ahead, I can hear you.
Hello, Rajiv ji.
Hello, sir.
Actually, I had reached out to you on LinkedIn and then you asked me to join the call. I had messaged you regarding the EAD start dates.
There is a lot of confusion, and unfortunately, our firm does not have the bandwidth to get into a litigation at the moment. During Trump administration, we did a lot of litigations. I made room for it because I knew we had no choice. But now we are so busy with our existing work, we have no time to litigate. But if you, and I'm trying to recollect from my memory. So first of all, the law is so messed up. Basically, the regulations say that you get 12 months of OPT, which you have to complete within 14 months, right? So you get like a kind of a 2 months grace period, so to speak. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021, USCIS had made so many, there were such delays, they got sued. When they got sued, they said, okay, what we'll do is, they settled the case. They said, what we'll do is that we'll start counting the 14 months from the date of the EAD approval. Okay. So the date of the EAD approval. That actually was okay for most of the students. That worked out well. Okay, but there is no such rule that allows them to do that. So what I had suggested to the students when they contacted me 3 or 4 weeks back, I said, you guys, you have to file a lawsuit. That's the only option I know. Okay. I don't have the time right now, and eventually I'll set up a litigation side as well. But right now we don't. So you may need to reach out to some litigators. Even if you have to file individual or class action lawsuits, that's something to be considered. Okay. No easy solution. Now, what I can do for you is next week, once we are back in the office, I'm working, I think our office is off Tuesday, but I'm working Monday. If you reach out to me Monday, I'll draft a letter. You can circulate it with the students, have a bunch of them sign. We can forward the letter to different agencies. We can send a letter to the Ombudsman's office. You can do it yourself also. I can help you write. You can send a letter to the Ombudsman's office, send a letter to the USCIS big bosses, whatever they are called. I keep forgetting their name. The secretary, the Homeland, DHS secretary, as well as the USCIS people, SEVIS people. You can, actually the card production is in the hands of USCIS if I remember correctly. So send it to 3-4 different agencies. I'm not sure it's going to do anything, but it might actually, we can even tweet to them. That's not a bad idea. We can tweet the letter to them. I've done that in the past. So, that's the only thing I can do for you. I can't litigate the case, but that might be your only option. Okay.
Okay, I see. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Can I ask just one question?
Sure.
One more question.
Mm-hmm.
So for students who are on F1 OPT, and that's the only visa that they have, can they apply for a new B1, B2 visitor visa? And for that, will they have to leave the US?
Okay, so if you are still within your F1 status, if you have OPT approved, or you are within the 60-day grace period following F1, OPT is pending, you can definitely apply for B1, B2, yes, without leaving USA.
And what about after the EAD gets approved?
Withdraw the B1, B2. Okay.
Okay,
But if you have an EAD pending, you don't have a status issue. I don't see that as an issue at all. Okay. So I don't see the need for a B1, B2. Yeah. Because there's no unlawful presence as long as that EAD is pending. You've done your job, right?
Right, yeah.
So, okay. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next one is, let's see, this one is area code 35. Hang on, let me double check. It's California, area code 669. 669, I can hear you.
Hi, sir. Thanks for taking the call. I got impacted due to downsizing at my company.
Hang on. I can't hear you. Get closer to your phone and speak slowly, please.
Can you hear me now?
Little better. Go ahead.
So, I got impacted due to downsizing at my company some time back, and I've got a new job offer. I'm on H1B. My 60 days grace period is about to get over, and they said that they will be able to file my petition like 3 days before my grace period is going to get over.
That should be okay.
So the advice I wanted.
Yeah, that should be okay.
Okay.
So should you file a B1, B2? I kind of anticipated your question. Should you file a B1, B2? It's such a difficult question to answer. On the one hand, you are wasting a lot of money if it's not needed. On the other, it could stop you from the inconvenience of having to travel. So it's a difficult question. The only reason I would not apply is because of the money. If money is not an issue, go ahead and apply for a B1, B2. And then withdraw it once the H1B gets approved.
Okay, so the timeline when I can cancel my B visa is when the H1B gets approved. It's not that whenever they receive the receipt number, I can start working.
Well, if you are concerned about the approvability of your case, if you're sure that your case will get approved, your lawyer should be able to tell you. I mean, we know fairly well which case is going to get
most
approved.
likely it will be, yes. 90%,
So then
yes.
you can withdraw it as soon as the H1B is timely filed. Just withdraw your B1, B2. No need.
Oh, okay. And we don't have to wait for the receipt number, right? It's the day they file the case.
Yeah, that's another issue you should discuss with your lawyers, not with me, because the way I read some of these regulations, the word receipt does not mean the physical receipt. It means, not the issuance of the receipt. It means when they receive the paperwork. That's the way I have read it, but every lawyer has their own interpretation. Okay.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, that was it. So,
right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Let's see. 917, New York. 917, New York. Okay. New York, go ahead, please. I can hear you. 917.
Hi, Rajiv. So, if I'm in India and I get laid off and I've used 3 years out of my 6 years of H1, how long do I get? How much time do I have to get a new employer who transfer my H1 and get approved?
Okay, so the law simply says that for 6 years you have no quota issue. Okay. So the question that was raised and kind of sort of answered by the USCIS was this. Do my 6 years of grace period begin from the day my case is approved or the day my H1B expires? So in other words, if my H1B is good from 21 to 24, do I have 6 years beginning 21 or beginning 24? And the government said 24. So you have 6 years from the date your H1B expires, during which you will not be subject to the quota again.
So you're saying I can sit nicely in India for 6 years and find a job.
Yes, sir.
And a sponsor.
Yes, sir.
And then come back with an
sir.
old stamp and an approved H1 transfer.
Yes, sir. So because this is a policy statement, it can be changed overnight. Best case scenario, you have 6 years from 2024, giving the same example. And worst case scenario, you have 6 years from 2021.
Okay. And the port of entry person will not ask me the gap of my travel?
If you have an H1B approval, if you have an H1B approval, H1B visa stamp, why should they worry about it?
I already have a stamp, and you said I don't need another stamp, right?
You need an approval.
I can carry
hang on.
No,
take it back. I'm not sure you understood what I just discussed with you. So, visa stamp is only as valid as long as the stamp is valid. After that, you need a new stamp. You're not subject to the lottery. I only talked about lottery. Okay.
I see.
I'm so glad you asked
because
that.
my stamp is only for 3 years and not.
The stamp is valid only till its own life. But your ability to come back to the United States on another H1B is valid for 6 years. You still have to get another H1B approval, another H1B approval, another visa stamp if the old one has expired.
I see. Okay, but as long as like the duration is concerned, I'm good in India.
Absolutely.
There and,
absolutely.
Applying very chill, right?
You can chill and smoke hookah all day, no problem.
I need chole bhature, yes.
Do they have
Thank
hookah
you.
bars in India? Not yet.
Yeah, sir, I've been going to Delhi University since I was 17, 18. I mean, they have it in Satyaniketan and
Acha.
all that area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, very good. So yeah, you can have chole bhature and hookah bar at the same time.
No, I passed that age, but
Yeah.
I appreciate your.
Yeah. So no, you're all set.
Thank you.
No worries. You can take your time. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Let's see, Texas. Wait a minute. I'm just Texas area code 757. Okay. 757. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello Rajiv sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
So I also had a question related to EAD. So my EAD has been approved. I got the approval notice.
Oh, good.
And the start date has already started, but I'm not sure if I can start working officially with an employer. I got the offer letter, but I'm confused if I can start working.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you, if I were representing the employer, my answer would be simply this. If you can fill the employee's Form I-9, you can hire them. Unfortunately, you can't fill an I-9 with just the approval notice. Okay. So some lawyers are more aggressive. They'll say, well, you know what? It's not your fault or the employee's fault that they are taking 6 months to produce the damn card. So might as well get started. The answer is, if you were to go strictly by the letter of the law, you have to wait for the card to arrive. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
But if I wait for the card will my unemployment clock start? Because
that's another problem. That's another problem. And there's no easy answer to those questions. That's why I said there's a lot of fuzziness around these issues. Lot of issues. So, don't know. People have asked, are you on, by the way, your STEM OPT or first year OPT?
No, first year OPT, sir.
See, first year OPT is easier. You can just, if you have any issues, you can talk to your college professor and just get a project for 20 hours each week. Even unpaid is okay. Okay. That's the best solution. All right.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's the problem is people on STEM OPT. They can't just volunteer without pay. So I think government is going to end up getting sued over this one way or the other. I wish I had the structure and the time to do it. I really wish I did. But you know what? You're going to be okay. You are first year OPT. You're fine. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck, sir. Area code 832. Let's see. 832. That's Texas. Okay. Texas, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv, sir.
Hello,
I
ma'am.
wanted to know if for LA, 3 years of work experience is required.
Hang on. Ma'am, back up. Did you say for L1A 3 years of work experience is required?
Yes, 1 year is mandatory in the multinational company, but in total is 3 years mandatory.
Oh, no. That is incorrect statement of the law. The correct statement of the law is you do not need 3 years of experience. You need 1 year experience out of the last 3 immediately preceding the application. Okay. So let's say you file the application in 2023. We will look at your work history till 2020 to make sure that you have at least 1 year experience working with this company. It does not have to be 3 years. It only has to be 1 year out of the 3.
Yes, I got it. But because the statement is a little confusing, I needed clarification.
No, it's not confusing at all. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a concrete example. Okay. So we are applying in 2023. We are looking back to 22 is 1 year, 21 is 2 years, 20 is 3 years, right? So let's say you worked from 2020 to 21. Then in 22, you had a beautiful baby and you decided to take some time off. You wanted to spend a year with the child. Okay. So in 23, when you apply, do you qualify? Sure, because out of the last 3 years, even though you took 1 year off, or even 1.5 or 2 years off, out of the last 3 years, you have 1 year with the company. Make sense?
Sure, sir. Yes, sir. So
excellent.
There is no mandatory requirement. You should have minimum of 3 years experience.
No,
not at all.
Not at all. No such requirement.
And to start a new branch, L1A, is there any specific, like you were saying for EB1C, the job duties have to be clarified. Do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The EB1C job duties have to be verified by the lawyers just to make sure that they would potentially qualify for an EB1C. Don't just think that just because the job has a title manager or VP operations, it'll work. It may not. Lawyers should look at it, definitely.
Yeah, similarly for L1A, to open a new branch, if somebody is coming, what kind, is there any specific duty requirement that should be emphasized on?
Oh, this is a very long discussion. Very long. New office is a very long discussion. Because basically what you will, I'll take 2 minutes. Basically what you will do is, you have to show, typically we submit a business plan. We submit a business plan showing that by the end of the year, when we get the approval, we will have created enough of an infrastructure to require the presence of a L1A level manager. These are tough cases, okay? Smaller companies typically have a harder time, and sometimes even very large companies, when they open a new office, have a harder time. So let's say I'm coming as the CEO, right? So I come as the CEO. In my business plan, it says within the first 6 months, I'll hire 4 developers. Then over the next 3 months, I'll have 2 administrative staff, 1 more developer. So I have to stick to that business plan as much as possible. By the end of the year, if I want more extensions on the L1, I should be able to show that we have enough of a staff to need supervision. It's more complicated than that. I'm giving you a very, very broad overview. There is some room to argue that I'm also managing an India team or a Canada team sitting in USA. Won't that count? Well, yeah, I think it does count. And there's actually a case that says it does count if it's an integrated operation. So that's not a discussion I can have with you in 5 minutes. It's a lot more involved than that. But definitely it is done all the time. We do them all the time. Other lawyers do them all the time. It's just that they have certain complications that you need to worry about. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So it is advisable to come as L1A manager for an established company.
Oh, yeah.
Presence more than a year.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely much better if you could do that. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
You have a good day.
You're welcome. You too. Okay. Last is Florida. Last question for the day. Florida, go ahead, please. 352.
Hi, sir.
Hello, sir.
So I'm a new grad student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a OPT, and company A, before I graduated, gave me an offer, and they applied for H1B for me. It did not go through. Now I have not started with company A yet, and I'm interested in another company, company B.
Hang on.
Now that I'm not...
Hang on. You are on OPT, right?
Yes.
Okay. First year or STEM extension?
First year.
Okay. And you don't want to join company A, you want to join another company. Okay. Keep going.
So I hear that there is some chance of a second round of H1B lottery.
Yeah.
If that happens, what will be the implications if I already have joined company B?
Well,
because company A won't be sponsoring
if
anymore.
Company A still loves you, you can always go back. No problem.
But if I don't join them and I join another company, of course, it won't love me.
Yeah, exactly. They may not.
There will be some implications.
Yeah, they may not love you enough to spend $3,000-4,000 on you. So in that case, you're out of luck with that lottery. It's gone.
Will that affect my future lottery chances?
No.
Because I already have been.
No, not at all. It's not a black mark against you in any way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Would you happen to know what are the chances of a second round of lottery?
Look, I don't have the math on this, but I think the chances are good. Just knowing what I know about how few people are actually following through with the filing, and how many cases are getting rejected, and notice of intent to deny, etc., is being issued. I think chances are pretty good. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for your help.
You're welcome. Good luck, everyone. Great talking with you. I'll see you next Thursday on LinkedIn Audio. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.